Out, eh?
Let's do it. Send it out. I feel like people want to talk about this. Hear us talk about it.
Yes. We're the men for the job. I think we've had the good fortune of talking about some pretty important Michigan wins in our time. This is right up there.
In terms of sport, this feels like the most important one we've ever talked about the basketball side of things.
Basketball side of the house, this is the
The
most
most
important because
important.
we weren't around for the Trey Burke game.
No, we're not podding then.
No, watching, not potting. So this is
Correct.
definitely the most important that we've ever spoken about. And honestly, the most dominant important game that we've ever talked about. I mean, we beat the hell out of Washington in the national championship pretty good, but not to this degree.
Yeah, because even the Washington National Championship was pretty stressful for a long time. Like,
Yeah.
even like when Michigan had the success early, Washington fought back, got the late touchdown at the end of the first half. You and I were talking at halftime, like they get the ball coming out of half. If they get something going here, it's a tight game. And then Will Johnson picks it off and slowly Michigan puts it away. But there was some real stress for
There was stress in that
over an
game.
hour.
There was none in this game
It's 10 to
whatsoever.
1 when start this game. 10 to 1.
All right, let's do a little intro, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, welcome to Out of the Blue from the Block M Podcast Network, part of the Fan First Sports Network. This is a podcast that only believes in two things: go blue and never follow a hippie to a second location. I am Jared Stormer of the Block M Podcast Network and MazenBrew.com. With me, as always, is Andy Bailey, my hetero life mate. Andy Bailey was a saucier down in San Antone before the war. Michigan Wolverines are headed to the national championship game after absolutely taking the belt off, wrapping it around their knuckles, and putting it to ass against Arizona, the presumed favorites. Domination from the Wolverines, brother. How are you feeling?
I'm tremendous, man. This is one of the highest highs I've ever experienced in Michigan athletics, period, and probably the highest one I've experienced as a Michigan fan in terms of basketball.
It's up there. It is up there. We're going to have some crazy conversations both here on this podcast now in the off season as we analyze this thing. There is one more to go. There is work yet to be done. And if they do it, if they are able to take down UConn on Monday, we are talking about potentially the greatest college basketball team of all time. Not the greatest Michigan team of all time, because that might be wrapped up. We are potentially talking about the greatest college basketball team of all time. That is not hyperbole. That's an insane sentence that I just rambled on.
No, I mean, coming into this game against Arizona, it was a heavyweight matchup of two of the best teams statistically. If you ask the nerds, on Ken Palm, Michigan was number 3 all time, Arizona was number 4 all time, and this game wasn't even close. It showed that while it may have been close on paper, there was a massive difference on the court. And I think you've just seen that all season. This has just been a continuation of everything we've known, really, that started back in Vegas in November.
91-73 wasn't even that close. Could have been worse if Yaxel Lendenborg was able to go in this one. He gets two quick fouls in this and then steps on, I think it was Krivas's foot as
Yeah.
he's driving to the rack. And it's a sprained MCL and a sprained ankle, same ankle that he sprained in the Big Ten tournament. Was able to get back out there and actually hit 2 threes. Clearly moving gingerly out there, but he's just so freaking good that he was able to still come out and impact the game. I think you'd have to probably hit him in the neck with a sledgehammer to keep him out on Monday.
How did you feel 2 minutes in when Yaxel Lindenborg picked up 2 fouls in 5 seconds?
I was panicking. I mean, at that point, we were already up, but I'm like, well, it's early in this game. There's so much basketball left to be played. Like, we're not going to be able to hold on without Yaxel, but it just wasn't that kind of night. So Yaxel goes out, and then we are able to maintain that lead. This thing never got close. I mean, what was it, 10-1 right out of the gate? And then I think the closest they got after that was like 11, you know? They were just not able. We were all waiting for that Arizona run, which came against Purdue, and it's come for them most games this season, never came. And Michigan just had so many guys hitting that it didn't matter that Yaxel Lendenborg wasn't out there, which is an insane sentence.
And we talked about this a little bit in the pregame that if Michigan could make the twos difficult, which Arizona was so too dominant, I believe 365 or 360 in the country in 3 points attempts per game, they were
Mm-hmm.
going to have a tough time coming back in this one. So, like, this is not a team that's built to come from behind, especially teams they can't overwhelm in the paint. They couldn't do that with Michigan. And, like, I know Adime, Merez, and Yaxel picked up 2 quick fouls, but they did a great job not picking up the third, something that Jaden Bradley was unable to do.
Yeah, tough for Jaden Bradley, their senior guard, who got the quick fouls, but then came in and immediately got the third. And there were 2 of them, I think, were offensive, like really trying to overcompensate for what Elliot Cadeau was doing, which was just bringing energy on both ends. I think Charles Barkley said it, or maybe it was on the broadcast. It was the best 2 of 14 at the half that anyone had ever seen. I totally agree because, I mean, he was disruptive. He was making life hell on Jaden Bradley. That was outstanding stuff from him. But yeah, I mean, we had in the chat there, hope Yaxel can go on Monday. If you missed it, we would expect Yaxel Lindenborg to give it a go, man, from Houston B. That, yeah, I would just imagine that you probably have to hit him with a Lexus in order to keep him out, because he came back in this one, came back with the compression, the compression wrap on, asked his family about it, said I had to do it. And like, if there was any possible room for me to love Yaxel Lindenborg more, this kind of warrior performance, it somehow elevated him above guys like that I never thought he could get above.
Exactly. And I love that he was also willing to come back even after that when, Arizona was trying to hang around. Like, they got it to 19 and you're like, okay, 15's right there. And then it's 10. There's about 7 minutes left. Yaxel checked back in. I believe Michigan went on a little 6-0 run and put that to bed and subbed him right back out. But just because he was willing to come out. And Kellen here with a great stat from ESPN, biggest win in a 1 seed versus 1 seed game since 1979. Talking the Carter administration. That'll do.
I was going to say, do you happen to know off the dome who was the president then? I believe it was Carter.
It was Carter.
Oh, incredible stuff by you. Incredible stuff by Kellen. Yeah, I didn't see this coming. I did not see this coming. We were really nervous. I don't know about you, but I was pacing around all day, tried to stay busy because I'm like, man, this one's got my nerves up high. I think it was Michigan favored by 1.5 coming in. Michigan being up by 20 when this game was kind of, in the throes and being decided, and just having a run and answer for everything Arizona had was not on my bingo card. And just tremendous, man. Like, the least stressful NCAA tournament run to the national championship game maybe in history. I have not been stressed. Basically, I mean, St. Louis maybe a little bit got me a little stressed, but that was about it.
I was not scared of Milk Chamberlain, so I'm not even going to give him the credit there. But I mean, in this game, man, I mean, I think it's only fair to go through each and every person a little bit, give them their flowers in this, because it was a complete team effort. And I kind of want to start on the periphery a little bit. You and I discussed this off air, and Dusty May hit on this first in the post game, so I think it's only apt. The glue guys. The glue guys in this one stepping up, replacing Yaxel Lindenborg in the aggregate, talking players like Namari Burnett, who, if you just look at the box scores, like 2 of 5, 6 points, and players like Roddy Gale, who also, like, you look at the box score, like, okay, 3 of 9, 9 points, were massive in this game in terms of ball handling, spacing the floor, attacking, and just opening up an entire offense that the team needed without Yaxel on the court.
Yeah, Roddy Gale, only 9 points. He's had bigger games here in this tournament, but had an absolutely momentum shifting dunk. And that was right when Yaxel goes out. Arizona looks like, okay, here's where they're going to make the run. I think they got back within like 11 or 12. Then you get that Roddy Gale dunk, momentum shifter there. Namari Burnett keeping some distance with his 3-point shooting, and also just spaces the floor because he is such a reliable 3-point shooter. It helps everybody else, even when he's not hitting shots. I thought there was some pretty good Will Cheddar minutes in this, even though, doesn't pop on the box score as well. So love starting with the glue guys. I mean, they're melting down horses out back because we got glue guys for days. It's a glue factory there. So many good dudes, so many dudes, man. I absolutely love it. And, we already talked about Yaxel. We've talked about Cadeau a little bit more on Cadeau, man. He has been an absolute floor general this entire run. And the defensive activity, quick hands, disruptive, staying in front of guys, an absolute leader out there. Almost lost him to a cashew the other day. Thank God he was able to come back from that. I was like, this is going to be the dumbest way to lose if we're taken out by a effing cashew. But of course, luckily he was able to make it to Indy. And yeah, he was massive once again.
Cashews gave him more issues than Jaden Bradley did.
And Jaden Bradley did, for sure.
Kind of week, yeah. No, Cadeau was just phenomenal. Like, he was in complete control in this game. And I texted you this during it. I love that when Yaxel checked back in, like early on in the game after the foul trouble pre-injury, he got him a touch right away. He hit a 3 in the corner.
Yes,
Like
smart.
that's what a good point guard does. He gets his guys touches, gets them in the spots they want. Had so many just good lobs to Mara, who I know we're going to get into in this one, but just consistently finds guys in their spots, is able to just penetrate, break down defenses, hit the right guy, make the right decision over and over again. And he was the best guard on the court today.
He was. There's no question about it, and that's including potential top 10 pick Braden Burries, who looked average. Jaden Bradley looked overmatched. Koa Pete looked like a player to me. I think Koa Pete's going to be a guy in the NBA.
But he also looked like a freshman.
Yeah, looked like a freshman, definitely is a freshman, looked like a freshman. But, given flowers where flowers are due there, but really nobody on this Arizona team could make Michigan sweat. And you mentioned Mara there. Have to talk about him in this one. What an absurd stat line. 26 points, 9 rebounds. He's 11 of 16, had 3 assists. The passing continues to be very impressive. Attempted a 3, hit like an elbow jumper. How about perfect from the free throw line? 4 of 4. The entire team was excellent from the free throw line in this one. And then 3 blocks as well to add to it. He was outstanding, completely outplayed the older Krivas, who a lot of people were like, his physicality, his size is going to give Mara trouble. Not the case. Mara made himself a lot of money tonight as well in that matchup against Krivas.
Yeah, Michigan's front court tonight of the combination of Mara and Johnson were 36 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, and 8 for 8 from the free throw line. Like
that'll do, gentlemen.
Very critical of the front court coming into this matchup, saying this is the most important one. This is a good bounce back game. They were dominant, but especially Mara. Like I love the story of his parents finally getting to watch him play at Michigan for the first time, coming over for the Final Four, and he showed out. He was just in complete control. He had the one play as well you don't see as well. Like he got the ball at the foul line, and they wanted to play extreme drop coverage. And by extreme drop, I mean just not play any at all and drop into the baseline. And he just put it on the deck and yammed it. No one wanted any piece of it. I just love the aggression from the jump. He was not scared of the paint. Everyone was talking about Krivas' physicality. He's too thick. He's too big. Mara looked like the much more imposing player all game.
He was putting some mustard on it too. There was a little sauce out there. I saw some yelling, tongue out there wagging, two-handed dunks hanging on. How about the headiness where he's hanging on the rim, but he sees Mojo coming for the putback. So in order to avoid the basket interference, he lets go. And I was just like, man, that's heady play, man. It's such a well-coached team too. I don't know that we've given Dusty May the appropriate amount of recognition thus far on this podcast. He is so much better than Lloyd. I mean, it was so clear who the better coach was in this one. And man, we were talking about it a little bit when we kicked it off. North Carolina is going to come after him with the hardcore press. There's going to be a lot of NBA jobs that are opening up. I think he is that good. He has entered top 3 coach in the country. One of the other ones is who we're going to see on Monday in Hurley. I mean, May is unbelievable. I don't have the words to describe how good he's been.
Dusty May, whose evening began with openly scouting UConn while just taking it all in, not sweating Arizona, thinking about the next game, and then landing a commit from 5-star point guard Brandon McCoy at halftime.
Crazy timing. Do you remember a really important game like this where a major commit came in? Like, did he even know? He had to have been locked in, or did someone be like, hey, by the way, we got Brandon McCoy? Like, that's not really what's on the agenda for the evening. So that's crazy news to get that. Brandon McCoy committed on the Fab 5 alternative cast, which is also just really cool that was going on. I'll have to go back and check that out. And Brandon McCoy is like a stud. Crazy athlete. We're gonna get some fun dunks. McKinney and McCoy, and Cadeau. Oh boy, that is some sauce right there. Really excited about that.
It's just, I mean, I don't think anybody had a better day than Dusty May. Like that's what it boils down to. This team having a week to prepare, and we discussed this, feeling really good about that matchup. Having it, this extension has to get done. It should be done now. It should be signed as of right now. Open contract, whatever you want.
Write your own number. Yeah, write your own number.
Like after this performance, it's well deserved. I mean, they can still cap this off, and we can get all the historical numbers after the fact. But this was just a masterclass in coaching, and like on both sides, like it felt like a little, little shaky early on, possibly with the timeouts getting down to 2, and you're like, okay, is this going to be an issue? It wasn't. None of it
It
mattered.
was
Dusty was in complete control from the jump on both ends of the court. And I think the whole game plan was make Arizona beat you in the half court, because like Michigan was giving up some rebound opportunities, getting everybody back and forcing them to slow the game down. And their off court offense was atrocious, partially due to Michigan's defense.
Yeah, and I mean, they did not seem to really have any sets, and it seemed a lot of like your turn, my turn. We've got to force shots to Braden Burries, and part of that was because they went down early. And as you mentioned, this is not a team Arizona that's built to shoot the three
No.
and come back in this. So it seemed like they were panicking trying to get shots for Burries, who's probably their best shooter, is their best shooter.
Yeah.
And I mean, they were just not ready for that. And the defense from Michigan, the active hands, absolutely walling up in the paint. It was very clearly like, go ahead. If y'all want to try and shoot your way back into this, we haven't seen it all year, so you're going to have to do it tonight. Michigan walled up the paint. It was impressive.
It was kind of like the UConn women last night, facing the biggest deficit they have all season pretty early on in that game against South Carolina. And Arizona faced the biggest deficit they have all season in the first half, like getting down by 12. And it's like they're not used to that. So like I understand the argument coming in. They've been so consistent all year, and Michigan's had higher highs, but they've also had lower lows. So they've had to go through some of those scars, battle some adversity. Arizona's battled some, but not to this degree. And once they got down, it felt like they really started to panic.
Yeah, and something we talked about on the podcast leading into this is if they get down, they're relying on two freshmen in just a different way than Michigan's relying on our freshmen, and Trey McKinney came in and had an amazing game, 16 points in this one. We're going to give him some more flowers because I thought he was incredible and just his confidence was huge. But that's Trey McKinney coming off the bench and being a firecracker for you, lighting a fire for you offensively. Outstanding role for him. That is the exact role for Trey McKinney as a freshman, even with Kaysen out, like that's why you didn't feel panicked about the loss of Kaysen, because you're like, McKinney can fill that role. He can absolutely come in and be a high volume shot taker and shot maker. But relying on Burries, relying on Pete when you get down 10 points, and it's like, we need you two to get us back into this against Mara, Johnson, Lendenborg, and Cadeau. That's a big ask for 18-year-olds.
It seems to be the biggest trend in college sports right now, that older players are staying at school and dominating. You look at Indiana football, they just did the same.
I was going to say,
Michigan hockey right now, it's the first time the senior's been their best player since 2011.
Yeah, I mean, it's the give a shit and it's the stick around era, which, I mean, if you're a sports fan, you should be excited about this. I mean, granted, stick around and maybe transfer 3 or 4 times, and maybe that's why some people have a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth. But yeah, I mean, players sticking around longer because, why not? Like, if I'm not going to make it into the NBA, or there's even a risk that I might not get drafted, run it back for another year. And, Michigan's not like an ancient team. I know Lendenborg gets a lot of crap for, being the age that he is.
It's just
but
NBA
like
scout snobs.
It's stupid. It is very, very dumb. Like, there's not something that you heard 4 or 5 years ago. But regardless, I mean, Michigan is not like a dramatically older team than a lot of these other teams out there. Like, Alex Caravan's the same age as Yaxel, is he not?
Something like that. And also, it's, again, the argument is so funny that like Dusty May just assembled the Avengers when Adai Mara could barely get on the court in 2 years at UCLA. Morez Johnson was the 7th man at Illinois. And it's like they couldn't figure it out. Elliot Cadeau was basically forced out of Carolina because he was like too busy just like watching RJ Davis chuck up shots and being used completely wrong and not being allowed to be himself. So it's like he assembled all these pieces and then developed them into what they are now. It was not just taking fully formed products and building an all-star team.
They're not being genuine there, because that was just not the discourse when we signed this team. No one was saying like, this is unfair, this is ridiculous, I can't believe you signed these guys. People were like, wow, the Yaxel Lendenborg signing, like, that's going to make Michigan better. No one mentioned Mara or Mojo. Like, no, it was not mentioned. Like, we were excited about it, but are like, okay, bigger role here with Dusty May. Now, you and I, as optimistic as we were, did not see greatest team ever assembled. But this
we tempered our expectations, but we didn't even understand how good Mojo was until the Olympic tournament in the summer. We're like, oh, like he could really be something. We never saw this from Mara and Cadeau.
No. No, and Cadeau is like just every time I watch him, particularly on this tournament run, my respect level just grows more and more and more. Like really crafty for a guy like plays like a veteran of college basketball, which he is, but I mean he'll be back next year, and like there's even more. There's potentially another level to
He
this
doesn't
Cadeau
feel
game, which
undersized ever, and I think that's a
no
rare
plays
skill to
big.
have.
Yeah, yeah, he absolutely plays big, man. So, incredible stuff here. Some other stats from this game. Michigan is the first team since 1967-68 UCLA to lead by 15 or more at halftime in both the Elite Eight and the Final Four. That team went 29-1 and had Lou Alcindor, aka Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. This is dumb. So this is when we said at the top of this, like when we're getting into, is this one of the greatest or the greatest basketball team ever assembled in college? Look at what we're up against.
The
Literally,
final
like
days of LBJ.
yeah, like what are we talking about here? This is the stupidest stat, man. Like, yeah, not since freaking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has a
the
team done this with this level of dominance.
Dude, it was the fifth time Michigan scored over 90 plus points in the NCAA tournament. It's the first time it's ever happened. They could do it six times with the national championship on deck. This is with a minute left. They were showing Charlie May highlights.
We got Malik Cordell minutes out there. I'm like, these are truly the good times. Malik Cordell and Charlie May are getting into the game.
I mean, when you think back to the 2018 run, like it was Loyola in the Final Four. Michigan had to come back in that game against Sister Jean and all that magic, but that was Loyola. I mean, it was a fun run, but Michigan should have won more handily than they did. And going into the Villanova game, it felt like, okay, we might be up against it here. This Villanova team is pretty good. We didn't expect it to go the way it did, so sideways so quickly, but we knew they might be out in front of their skis a little bit. This team now, it feels like if they win the national championship by single digits, it might be a disappointment.
And yeah, great transition by you. Let's talk about this. So it's going to be UConn on Monday. Dan Hurley looking for his third in 4 years. That's silly
Insane, dude.
stuff from UConn right there. And maybe not his most talented team that he's had, but just goes to show why he's one of the best out there as they take down Illinois and playing some of their best basketball. The Terrace Reed return. So a little Terrace Reed, not necessarily revenge because, different coaching staff doesn't really feel like that. I think everyone's happy with the way that it went, but it's going to be a fun matchup between him and Mara. Obviously, all eyes on Yaxel Lendenborg to see what he is going to be able to bring. Just saw Tony there post in the chat that Michigan opens as a 7-point favorite. That's a large number, to be honest. That's like number. That is a big number. I don't know if I like that, but there's no hiding anymore. Like no one's like, oh, Michigan a little under the radar now. I think it's a little late to slide into this one under the radar. So yeah, Michigan favored big in this one. How do you feel about the matchup?
I don't like how confident I feel because Dan Hurley's the best coach in college basketball. It's pretty unassailable. I mean, he's going for his third title in 4 years. The one game he lost was to the national champion by a bucket, like in a hard fought game last year against Florida. Like he can just flat out coach, and he's getting more out of this team than any coach is. Like this team is not on Michigan's level in terms of talent, but Dan Hurley's just putting them in positions to succeed and fight and grit. The Duke win, especially having that kind of comeback, that championship DNA, just is a testament to the head coach. And that's what he's instilling in this team. And they played really well today. I thought they defended really well. And they finally shot the ball well. 36% from three, 12 threes altogether. So kind of hitting their stride at the best time possible. But when you match up these two teams, especially the way Michigan just played, I feel like it's Michigan versus themselves. I hate to sound arrogant when I say that. But if Michigan's playing their best, Yaxel is full go, assuming that's a big if. But if he is full go, I feel like Michigan should run away with this one.
Well, the sprained MCL, I can almost guarantee you he won't be full go.
Yeah. I mean, if he's playing full minutes, like if he's playing 30 minutes, like.
Yeah, I believe he's going to play, knowing Yaxel and just seeing the way he gutted it out tonight. I think that Yaxel will play, but expecting him to be at 100%. I mean, I don't think he's been at 100% this whole tournament after the ankle injury in the Big Ten tournament. But I mean, just goes to show you how dominant of a player he can be. But other guys are going to have to step up. I think that Hurley, like dramatic step up in coaching from Lloyd at Arizona. So I think he'll be able to keep it closer. But the talent gap is huge. The depth of Michigan really stands out. And the depth today really showed out I ran into a guy, wearing my Michigan gear 2 nights ago and was talking about the game. And he went to Michigan during the time of the Fab Five. And I was like, I think we're in like greatest Michigan team of all time era, man. And he's like, I'd say that because the depth of the Fab Five like really worried us during those games. He's like, I attended a bunch of those games. He's like, the depth of this team is dramatically different. And I think that the depth is going to be huge against UConn.
Yeah, UConn is very heavy on their top five in this one. There's a huge minutes drop off from 5 to 6. I believe it is a 9-minute gap, which is substantial in terms of that. And also now you're counting on Terrace Reed to be able to consistently score inside against Michigan. And this is I know Illinois is a big team. They don't have the physicality inside that Michigan does. We saw that when we played them in Champaign.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So it's going to be Terrace Reed, it's going to be Mullins, it's going to be Caravan. They're going to lean on those guys a lot. Ball as well. They play big minutes for him. But yeah, they're going to play the entire thing out, and they're mostly healthy. And Michigan doesn't have to do that. I think that with Yaxel Lendenborg, you're probably going to want to ease him into this one and see what he can give you. And if you need to give him some blows in this one, I think that would be helpful. But Adai Mara versus Terrace Reed is going to be massive. Morez Johnson versus Terrace Reed. Michigan has a size advantage yet again, which they have had in every single game this entire season. That's going to happen again with UConn. I don't expect Michigan to shoot as well as we did in the second half of this game, where at one point we were 7 of 9 for 3. But if Michigan's threes are dropping, I'm with you, man. I feel pretty confident about it. Like you said in last week's pod so eloquently, this was like the Rose Bowl game against Alabama during Michigan's football national title run. We got through the Alabama. Like now it's up against the Washington, although I think this UConn team is a tier above where Washington was as a national championship.
I don't know. I think I disagree with that. I think Washington was better. I mean, undefeated.
Really?
That offense was rolling. 3 NFL wide receivers, a first-round NFL quarterback. I don't think UConn has that kind of talent.
Talent-wise, no. Coaching-wise, I've got them a league above.
It's up there, but I mean, we've seen this
coaching.
UConn. I mean, this UConn team lost by 20 to St. John's. Like we've seen this team struggle and get run off the court by certain teams. We didn't see that with that Washington team.
Yeah, but it's more like this is the Nick Saban of coaching right now in the league, and that's more like what I give. I that's why I give them a little bit more credence, even though like I'm not afraid of Caravan. I'm definitely not afraid of Mullins. And then Terrace Reed, I really like and respect Terrace Reed's game. He's a bully in there, but like we've got the size. Like
we're just afraid of Hurley is what it is. That psychopath.
Yes, that absolute lunatic. Yeah, like I'm worried that Hurley's going to hear this podcast and like mail me a bomb, like the damn Unabomber.
I thought you were going for a chest bump. That's what I'm here for.
Show up at my door with a rake and attack me in the middle of the night.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a good point. Like in terms of like Michigan's had the coaching advantage in every game coming up to this game.
Yeah,
and like if you feel like if Dusty's at his best, he can coach with anybody. But Hurley's been here and done this.
Yeah, and if Michigan gets, say, Terrace Reed into foul trouble early, they don't have the depth to make up for that. I don't care how good of a coach he is.
No, they do not. And that's what it comes down to. It's like coaches coach, players play, and that's where it can be the difference. Michigan's depth, being smart about that, staying out of foul trouble, not beating yourself. And if Michigan's just patient in this one and they play defense like they have this entire tournament, especially tonight, the offense is going to come, and I think it's just going to overwhelm UConn.
Keep the front court out of foul trouble. God, I wish we knew what we were going to get from Yaxel. I anticipate we're going to get 22 minutes of Yaxel at least.
Yeah.
So even if he's just standing in the corner firing threes, he is on fire from 3 in this tournament. So that will still be quite helpful. He still looked pretty good defensively when he came back in too. Great call by Tony here. Is Yaxel a 3-point specialist? He might be for this game on Monday. That might be what he is, kind of like current LeBron James, who mostly just stands in the corner and does the occasional cut. Yeah, and that's what it is with a sprained MCL and a sprained ankle. That's got to be painful on the same leg. He was moving pretty gingerly out there.
Also, this is UConn's 4th Big Ten opponent of the tournament.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's the Big Ten and UConn.
UCLA, Michigan State, Illinois, and now Michigan. And the one thing I worry about if I were a UConn fan, do we have enough to score in this game? Because outside of Furman, UConn has not scored over 73 points in a game this tournament.
And Michigan is dropping 90 like they're the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yes. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like, do you have the scoring to keep up? Because if this game's going to be a race to 70, I'm betting on Michigan.
Also like to add that my bracket is in the 99.8 percentile of brackets in the nation.
It's
That'll
so
do.
good. It's so
Got
good. I
Michigan
hate it.
winning over UConn on Monday. That's great. We didn't put any hard-earned American dollars on this one, but it still
Thank
feels
God.
good to win. Yeah. Still feels good to win nonetheless. Players of the game and predictions, brother. What are you thinking for UConn on Monday?
Adai Mara, player of the game. I think he just follows it up. I think he continues in the weekend. Going to have a massive size advantage, especially compared to the Arizona game going against Terrace Reed in the post, who's only 6'10" on a good day. So I think Mara's going to have his way inside. I think he's going to score over 20 again in this one. I think he's going to impact the game on both ends of the court. Can't guard on the perimeter, but if people can take care of that, he'll hold down the paint for him. I have Michigan winning this one. Why not go over 90 again? It seems to be the hot bet right now. It's been 5 in a row. Why not make it 6? I have Michigan winning 90-78.
90-78. That is almost exactly what I predicted for the score of this game for my tiebreaker as well. I see it similarly. I'll go Elliot Cadeau as my player of the game. A double-double in the NCAA tournament with assists is insane work. And I believe that was his second one of the tournament. That means you're accounting for like 30-something points. Like essentially a third of Michigan points are being accounted for by Cadeau, not to mention the steals, the charges he draws, the fouls he draws on other guys. I could see like a 15-10 from Cadeau. I could see Mara having more points, rebounds, and a couple blocks. But if you have a 15-10 and you are controlling the ball as much as Cadeau does, I want to give him some credit, man. I have come all the way around on Elliot Cadeau as a player. Huge fan.
Elliot Cadeau's NCAA tournament run 5-9-2, 12-7-4, 17-7-5, 8-10-3, and then tonight 13-10-5 and 4 steals.
That's insane production. That level of assists, man, that is next level stuff. And back to back going over 10 assists. It just doesn't happen that much in college to have that many assists and still be that impactful shooting the ball. Great stuff from him. So I'll go with him. I ain't mad about Mara. He probably was your player of the game tonight, but yeah, I'm going to go with a similar score. I'll go 90-72, hitting my 162 prediction and winning me my bracket. And yeah, putting me in the halls of legends as far as bracket builders. But it ain't about me. It is about this Michigan Wolverine team, which has the chance to win not only a national championship, but put their name forever in the record books as one of the best to ever do it. We potentially, as Michigan fans, get to watch a football national title followed a few years later by a basketball national title. And oh yeah, hockey still very much alive. Incredible times right now at the University of Michigan and as Michigan fans.
It's the best time ever to be a Michigan fan because like it's never been
Very
like
well
this
could be,
before.
man.
The last time Michigan basketball won was 89. Football was still almost a decade away. And then before that was 48. So you had to wait for that. So it's like this right now. These are the good times. You have to remember these. Enjoy these next 2 days. Tomorrow's going to suck because there's not a game and you're going to be pacing back and forth. Like, what if Dan Hurley comes out in a 1-3-1 and shit like that? Like, that's where our minds are going to go in this situation. But trust the team. We've seen it come this far. Let's enjoy this last one.
I'm more worried, like, what if Dan Hurley comes out with a crossbow and just shoots Axel Lindenborg? Like, he's an absolute psychopath. It's not out of the question.
He just they give him the board to draw up a play. He's like, no, the bow.
Give me the bow.
Give me the bow.
You want
instead.
the board? No.
No.
The bow. You misheard me. Dan Hurley up in the press box with a longbow?
Yeah, I mean, again, he's so fun to make fun of, but like I am terrified to go against that.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah.
He's good, man. Creep can coach. And if Michigan sports weren't great enough, we're 2 weeks away from Savion Hyder minutes in the spring football game. So great times. Great times are afoot, my friend. Anything we didn't touch on before we get out of here?
No, dude, I think we did it. Nice first live pod of the basketball season. No better time to do it than the present, my friend. So happy to be on here with you tonight.
Man, it was a pleasure. Game is on Monday night, so we will be recording when we can on Tuesday. Expect it Tuesday night. We're hoping that is a joyful celebration of a podcast. But man, it has been a ride up to this point. Appreciate everyone that hung out with us tonight. This pod will go up tonight on Saturday. I know it's late on the East Coast, but that's going to do it for Out of the Blue. I'm Jared. That's Andy. Thank you, producer Tony. We'd like to remind you that wherever you go, particularly when Michigan's in the national title game, you go